Welcome back to the Four Poros, where we play free-for-all Riftbound TCG. Today, Tal is the starting player. For that reason, he does not provide any battlefield. He is playing the legend Volibear Relentless Storm, with the champion unit Volibear Imposing. This deck is a Dragon Tribal deck. John is in seat 2. He is playing the legend Lee Sin Blind Monk, with the champion unit Lee Sin Centered. This deck plays a multitude of actions and reactions to surprise opponents. John provides the battlefield, the Grove of the God Willow. Luca is in seat 3. He is playing the legend Leona Radiant Dawn, with the champion unit Leona Zealot. This deck revolves around the stun and buff mechanics. Luca provides the battlefield, the Dreaming Tree. Amin is in seat 4, and he is playing the legend Victor Herald of the Arcane, with the champion unit Victor Leader. This deck aims to spawn as many recruit tokens as possible and overwhelm his opponents. Amin provides the battlefield, the Grand Plaza. All deck lists can be found in the description below. Tal starts the game with a Mobilize to ramp a rune. John plays a Clockwork Keeper with the additional cost to draw a card. Luca plays a Clockwork Keeper and also pays the additional cost to draw a card. Amin plays a Watchful Sentry and creates a recruit token using the Victor Legend ability. Tal plays a Catalyst of Eons and channels 2 exhausted runes. John conquers the Grove of the God Willow with his Clockwork Keeper, gaining the first point of the game. John plays a Zonia's Hourglass and passes the turn. Luca plays a Solari Shield Bearer and stuns the Clockwork Keeper. He buffs his own Clockwork Keeper thanks to his legend ability and attacks the Grove of the God Willow. He conquers that battlefield and gains his first point. Since this battlefield offers extra card draw if you hold it, the players are really duking it out for control. So much so that Amin plays a Hidden Blade on Luca's Clockwork Keeper. Amin conquers the Grove of the God Willow with his 2 units to gain his first point. He plays at that battlefield a Vanguard Captain. He will need to hold that battlefield for multiple turns to make that play worth it. Tal plays his first dragon, a Dune Drake. He adds an exhausted rune with the Volibear legend ability and plays a Pautiporo. John plays a Kiana Victorious. This is a key card in his deck that can fuel either resource, runes, or cards. He gives her a buff with his legend ability and passes. Luca plays a Set, Kingpin. This card can get really big if Luca distributes buff on multiple units. Then he conquers the Grand Plaza with his Solari Shield Bearer and gains his second point. Amin holds the Grove of the God Willow, gains his second point and draws an extra card. He plays a Soaring Scout to his battlefield. He follows that up with a second Vanguard Captain, also at that battlefield. This is a risky play, but Amin needs to commit to that battlefield to make the last turn's moves worth it. Tal has all his runes at his disposal. He starts by conquering the Dreaming Tree with his Pautiporo and gains his first point. This allows him to play his champion unit Volibear Imposing directly into the Dreaming Tree. Now, when his opponents move to the other 2 battlefields, Tal will get passive card draw from Volibear. John attacks the Grand Plaza with Kiana Victorious and presents 5 might against 3. This move gives Tal a card draw from Volibear Imposing. John wins and gains his second point. Upon conquering, he chooses to gain an exhausted rune with Kiana's effect. John plays a Sona Harmonious directly at the Grand Plaza and gives her a buff. This is another key card in his deck, as it allows him to play cards on other people's turn while still spending runes on his turn. At the end of his turn, he readies 4 runes, thanks to the Sona. Luca plays a Leona Determined. This card is a recurrent source of stun effects as long as Luca manages to attack multiple times with her. Luca follows that up with a Soaring Scout, then passes the turn. Yet again, Amin holds the Grove of the God Willow. He gains his third point and an extra card draw. Amin plays a Consult the Pass and draws 2 more cards. He plays a Recruit token into his base. Amin knows that Tal is the only player that has efficient ways to deal with multiple small units. Amin decides to take the risk and keep his army at that battlefield. Tal holds the Dreaming Tree and gains his second point. Tal plays a Stormbringer. He chooses his Dune Drake and targets the Grove of the God Willow. Amin is immediately punished as all his units are wiped out from the 5 damage dealt by the Stormbringer. Amin gets to draw a card and channel an exhausted rune from his Death Knell triggers. The Dune Drake moves to the Grove of the God Willow and Tal gets his third point. Here, the Dune Drake should be in ready position since it is the spell that moved the unit. Tal therefore could have had the option to move back the Dune Drake to his base. Tal plays a Spoils of War for its reduced cost and draws 2 cards. John holds the Grand Plaza and reaches 3 points. He retreats his Kiana victorious. John plays his champion unit, Lee Sin Center, without paying the accelerate cost. He gives him a buff and readies 4 runes at the end of his turn, thanks to Sona. Luca plays a Ruined Prison to stun the Volibear Imposing. He gives a buff to the Soaring Scout with his legend ability. Then, he plays a Solari Chief to kill the stunned Volibear Imposing. Tal responds with a Shakedown to either deal 6 damage to Leona Determined or draw 2 cards. Luca lets Tal draw 2 cards and saves his Leona. Luca attacks the Dreaming Tree with the Leona Determined. He stuns the Paudiporo and buffs the Leona Determined. He easily defeats the Paudiporo and conquers that battlefield. Luca reaches 3 points. Luca moves his Soaring Scout and Set Kingpin to the Dreaming Tree, then passes the turn. Amin plays another Consult the Past. Then he plays his champion unit, Victor Leader. He summons another recruit token and passes the turn. Tal holds the Grove of the God Willow and reaches 4 points. Tal plays a Herald of Scales which will reduce the cost of all his future dragons. For 3 energy, he plays a second Dune Drake and activates his Volibear legend ability. John holds the Grand Plaza and reaches 4 points. John attacks the Grove of the God Willow with Kiana and Lee Sin. He defeats the Dune Drake. John gets his 5th point and draws a card from Kiana's Conquering effect. John plays a Tasty Fail Folk directly at the Grove of the God Willow. John buffs the Tasty Fey Folk and passes the turn. He readies 4 runes. Luca holds the Dreaming Tree and reaches 4 points. Luca moves his Leona Determined back to base. Then, Luca plays a second Leona Determined into his base. He is setting up to have a big turn next turn. On his turn, Amin plays a Singularity to deal 6 damage to the 5 Might Sona and the 7 Might Kiana. After John explains that Kiana has Deflect, which means Amin needs to pay an extra power cost, and that she is actually at 7 Might because of the Lee Sin centered, Amin changes his second target to be Leona Determined. John uses the Zonia's Hourglass to save his Sona Harmonious, which retreats to base. Amin conquers the Grand Plaza with 1 recruit unit and gains a point. Amin also plays to his base a Watchful Sentry and a Soaring Scout. Tal plays a Kadegrin the Infernal, and he draws 2 cards. Then he plays a Raging Firebrand to discount the cost of his next spell by 5. He activates his Volibear Leader ability and channels a rune. For 3 energy, Tal plays a Stormbringer, choosing the Kadegrin the Infernal. This means that the spell will deal 9 damage to all the units at the Grove of the God Willow, then move Kadegrin the Infernal into that battlefield. John plays in response an Unyielding Spirit. This prevents the damage from the Stormbringer spell. The second part of the spell will still resolve and move Kadegrin the Infernal into the Grove of the God Willow. Tal is frustrated with this outcome. During the showdown, Luca plays a Find Your Center to draw a card and channel a rune. Then he decides to help Tal and plays a Hidden Blade to kill the Lee Sin centered. Kadegrin the Infernal trades with the Tasty Fail Folk, which gives John its Death Knell effect to draw a card and channel 2 runes. Tal attacks the Grand Plaza with his Dune Drake and gets his 5th point. John holds the Grove of the God Willow He draws an extra card and reaches 6 points. John plays Charm and moves the Dune Drake to the Dreaming Tree. This starts a showdown between Luca and Tal. Both players are tapped out and the Dune Drake trades for the Set Kingpin. John attacks the Dreaming Tree with his Sona Harmonious. He defeats the Soaring Scout and reaches 7 points. Then, John plays a Tasty Feyfolk with the Accelerate cost to conquer the Grand Plaza. He gains his 8th point and wins the game. If you enjoyed the content, please make sure to subscribe so you get notified when the next episode drops. Ciao!